Hello, grab a drink, quieten down, and welcome back to the library. Oh my god. Hi, it's Ollie, welcome back to episode 2. This is so exciting. I'm actually currently still waiting for episode 1 to upload because who'd have thunk it? Like exporting and uploading an hour long video takes hours. But yeah, today for my drink I have the very last vestiges of some homemade lemon iced tea. It's very nice. I made the lemon syrup and then I put in my tea. So yeah, this is the very end of it, so it's basically just 2 ice cubes. But it's very slay, so yeah. I did have a snack but I just ate it. So yeah. So peep the fit, I look cute. We're gonna ignore what it says on my shirt. I was wearing a very funky hat today. My very funky hat I was wearing today. What do we think? It's cool. I actually have a list of things to talk about today, so that I'm not winging it again like I was last time. So yeah, I thought I'd actually chat about things. So yeah, I've been collating, that is the right word, yeah, collating things to talk about for the last couple of days. I don't even remember when I last filmed. The other day. I want to talk about things. So yeah. I actually left my house today. I went out and saw a friend. It was very nice. It's very warm in the UK today, which is why you may be able to hear my fan. It's down there. Because it's 27 degrees today. That's Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Let's have a look. What's 27 in Fahrenheit? So let's Google this. I don't know, there's no conversion. Is 27 Celsius in Fahrenheit? 80. So it's hot. I don't know if Americans consider that hot. That's hot in London. It's very warm. I met a friend and we literally bought a 6-pack of Twister ice lollies and then ate them in the park. It's very British summertime experience. Also, if you haven't noticed, it is actually daytime today, so you can in fact see my background. It's my semi-unmade bed and all the other shit's in my bedroom. So yeah. So I'm going to talk about what I've been listening to, actually, recently. Basically, I've been listening to the same playlist for 3 months, and it's a Narcissa Black character playlist that I made, and it's gorgeous. It's literally all I listen to at the moment. I was just listening to it on my way home. I was listening to the last song to go on, I think was Dear Prudence by Susie and the Banshees. Yeah. But it's a very funky playlist. I'm enjoying it. It's not accurate. There's this Severus Snape playlist that I really like because it's quite time period accurate in a way. It's a lot of 80s goth mixed with the occasional bit of Lana Del Rey, and it's gorgeous because who doesn't want to listen to 80s goth. But I've been really enjoying this playlist. It's quite long. It's just under 2.5 hours. It's got some bangers on it. We've got some very angsty Narcissa Black songs Diodota by Susanna Hoff, Runs in the Family by Amanda Palmer, Me and the Devil, I Bet on Losing Dogs by Mitski, Army Dreamers, and then it's also got a load of Capital Rowan and Charlie XCX, because yeah, I'm a Noble Flower truther, so yeah, casual. Was it casual? Also just the girl so confusing, the one featuring Lorde, is that not the Black Sisters? Is We Have the Same Hair, is that not? Some people say they say we have the same hair, that is Andromeda and Bellatrix, and you can't convince me otherwise. Also Please 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 by Sabrina Carpenter, because that is very Narcissa to me. Claw Machine by Phoebe Bridgers, the one from the I Saw the TV Go soundtrack. I absolutely love that soundtrack. It's a beautiful soundtrack. Family Tree by Ethel Cain. Treehouse. Bit of Seven Devils by Florence and the Machine. Cop Car by Mitski. Also, one of my favourite bangers of all time at the moment, Anatomy by Kenzie. Controversial opinion. It's not that controversial. Anatomy is a bop. Like, it's actually a really good song, and I cry every time I listen to it. And it's a really good song, and I think that album is also, like, the entire, what's it called, Biting My Tongue album is really good. I really like The Me I Was. I also really liked, that's also very Black Sisters to me. But, like, Anatomy, I've cried listening to it. I'm taking things off as I talk about them. But yeah, that's all I've been listening to recently. I find a lot of my music through TikTok, like everyone else. But yeah, I have a very weird, quite eclectic music taste. Like, I'm one of those people where it's like, when I say I'll listen to anything, like, I will listen to anything. A lot of my like songs is a mess. Because yeah, I'm in a pop era at the moment, like a girl pop era. I'm listening to a lot of Charlie XCX, a lot of Chapel Roan, the new Sabrina Carpenter stuff. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that at the moment. Yeah, it's almost autumn, so check back in with me in a month and I'll be listening to something different. Probably more folk punk. I listen to a lot of folk punk. That's my niche area of interest. I saw something earlier about on Tumblr. I'm a Tumblr user. I think, okay, this is another thing I wanted to talk about how I think Tumblr is a really, really good social media, and so is YouTube. I really do, but we will get onto that. No, that's not what I was looking for. This one. It was talking about trans men, and they tend to congregate in meadows and folk punk shows. It's like, yeah, if you've ever looked at a folk punk artist. Yeah, so I listened to all that, little like anti-folk, like Kim Dawson and Crywank. Point example, Crywank t-shirt, signed Crywank t-shirt, and I met you. I've seen Crywank like 3 times. Yeah. I'm going to move back on to why I think that both YouTube and Tumblr are really good social media sites, and why I think that, like, despite being of the generation that also grew up a lot on the internet, it is very different to, like, the Gen Alpha, like, iPad kids, just because of the way that, like, social media is treating young people these days. I think one of the good things about YouTube as a social media, particularly for kids, is that you don't need an account. And I think that's definitely an important thing. Because you don't need an account on YouTube, there's less of a pressure to upload things yourself. Whereas on something like TikTok, you have an account, and there's more of that, like, pressure that you should also be uploading posts, you should also be doing this. Same with, like, Instagram and even, like, Snapchat. Like, there's that pressure that, oh, everyone else is uploading, all of your friends are posting, you should also be posting. And so you have that, like, pressure, where I think you don't have that as much on YouTube. Like, it's a lot more common to just be a consumer and, like, a viewer on YouTube than it is on, like, TikTok. And that's the big difference between, like, how I turned out, raised on YouTube, compared to some of these younger kids. I think it's also, in a way, YouTube is more intellectual, because it's, like, videos longer than a minute, that kind of thing. Whereas, like, TikTok is typically, very short videos, and it's, like, yeah, not talk about, like, the death of intellectualism, because I'm not smart enough to know what I'm talking about, but I think it is just a very different experience, like, social media experience, than it was, like, when I was a kid 10 years ago. Yeah. Also just the whole thing of like having kids have phones quite young. Like I had a phone quite young. I think I had my first phone at like 8. I was very young. But I was like following my friends on Instagram and watching YouTube. Like I actually was on Musically. I can't lie, I was on Musically. But I think it was so different. There was also less brain rot. Was there? Yeah, a bit. But I think it is different, and I think that like I have a young niece and she's in school, and like she is the only one in her class to not have a tablet. And like I did have a tablet at 7 years old, but I had a Kindle, and I used to like read and play Minecraft, and that was it. So yeah, I think it is very different. Like just the atmosphere on like social media and on the internet is very different. And it's just so like enforced in a way. Like you can't really survive in today's society without the internet. It's like, oh, you want to order at this restaurant, you have to scan the QR code. Oh, you want to pay for the thing, you use Apple Pay. Personally, I do not have Apple Pay. I actually do use my card. Controversial opinion, I like using my bank card. That's also because Google Wallet does not like my card. That's fine. So moving on, I also do really like Tumblr as a social media site. Because you find such niche people. I can post my little Tumblr blog post with the really niche hashtags, and I will find people who are also into said really niche thing, which is quite fun. I also think it's good that Tumblr is there's less pressure on Tumblr to post like your face. You have there's like no pressure to not be anonymous in a way that kind of you don't get on something like Instagram. You're like face reveal. No, you can like I don't post my face on Tumblr. Like my Tumblr is purely for the random thoughts that enter my brain, and so I think that's quite a fun, important thing, is like having a less pressured environment to like be on social media, and it's a lot easier to like find communities. Okay, I am a Tumblr lover. I really do really like Tumblr. What else do I have? Oh, we're gonna move on to I've got a lot of like points that I should talk about like weird life stories I thought I would tell you about. What was I gonna start with? Oh, I want to talk about something that I have. But it's not really like a physical thing, it's a mental thing. But I have this list of people in my head that I like went to school with. But it's the list of people I would like to check up on in 10, 15 years. Solely because I want to see what happens to them. It's like I want to know if you're gonna get married or like end up in prison or end up working in a local Tesco's. Like I just really want to see what happens to these people in 10 years, like see where they end up. And like it's a list in my head, because not everyone I went to secondary school with I care enough to know where you're going, but some of these people I'm just so intrigued about how your life is going to play out that I will be checking up on you in 10 years and like stalking you in 10 years just to see how your life goes. Yeah, I am one of those people where I get really, really bored, and so I try and stalk people that I used to know. But that's like a common experience, I fear. It is a common experience. I had to explain that to my mum recently. We were in Spain, and we were visiting. It's someone I used to go to school with, and her parents. And I was talking to her, and we were saying about how I went to primary school with her, but then she moved to a different primary school for a bit before she moved back to Spain. So she was talking about how she'd like stalked and reached out to a couple of people she went to this other primary school with, and I was like, yeah, I followed people from primary school because I stalked them and I wanted to see what they're doing. Like, I don't know if they remember me, but I remember you and I want to know what you're doing with your life. We were explaining to our parents, like, this is actually a really common thing to just, like, start stalking the people you used to know just to see what they're up to. Which, yeah, explaining to old people is like, okay. But to be fair, so my parents both grew up in quite a smallish town in Hampshire, and so whenever we are talking to someone else from said small town, it's always like, oh, do you know so-and-so? Or like when we were camping this year, we had my mum's friend who was also grew up in that town but is slightly older, but she lived in America for like 20 years and she's just moved back over, and she was meeting one of our other family friends who also grew up in said small town who's slightly younger, and they were just like discussing like, oh, do you know this person, do you know this person? And it's like, yeah, that's what British small town life is like. It's like everyone knows everyone. But it's like, you gossip about where people are at now. Why can't I do it? Why can't I stalk people on Instagram? I just sneeze. That's better. So yeah, I do have a list of people I want to check back up on in 10 years, just to see what they're up to. Like, see where their life has gone. Talking about where their life has gone, I want to talk about something I used to do that I had as a kid. When I was like 11, talking about being young on social media and the bad things you do, I ran one of those like depression Instagram pages when I was like 11 and severely depressed. In primary school, when I had like no friends, I did have friends, but I like thought everyone hated me and I was like severely depressed and had no life. I ran one of those like really cringy 2018 depression Instagram pages, but like I would post black and white photos I'd stolen off of Pinterest with like hashtag depression into them. I feel really bad admitting this, and this is something that I don't want to talk. I don't ever talk about this because most people I know don't know. Like I don't think anyone from secondary school even knew. Like, this was a thing when I was very young. One of the other things about social media. The Instagram page no longer exists. It was also linked to my like actual first name. That's actually when I stopped linking stuff to my legal name, because I thought it was really weird. Because once I just had some random guy message me on Instagram being like, hi, whatever. I was like, I don't like that. Actually, I don't like that you just know my name and I don't know your name. So yeah. Talking about that, like, the internet's just so bad for like having random people message you, because as a naive child, I had random old men message me, and I had a guy send me unsolicited dick pics at age 11. Like, and I was like very much obviously a child. I don't talk to people about this because I don't know, I just don't. But it was like, really? What the fuck is wrong with you? That is actually now illegal in the UK. It's called cyber flashing. So sending unsolicited, intimate pictures is now illegal in the UK, which I think is great, because sending unsolicited dick pics should be illegal, because why the fuck are you doing it? No one wants to see that. But yeah, cyber flashing is now a crime. You can go to prison for it. It's great. But yeah, I used to run a depression Instagram page, and it was a period of my life I would not like to go back to. To be honest, like, it was kind of the second resurgence of like the 2012 Tumblr, with like the like ED stuff and stuff was all over kind of Pinterest and Instagram at that point. Because I like vividly remember, like, trigger warning for self-harm for like 30 seconds. I vividly remember people I followed like posting videos of them self-harming to Instagram. What the fuck? Okay, trigger warning over. We're not going to do that anymore. Let's move on to something else. What series do I have? Oh, I stretched my ears again last night. You can't really tell on camera. but I'm at a 4mm now. I have 2 piercings here. I'm at a 4mm now, which is very fun because it's taken me 4 months to get here. I first tried to go from, I went from a 3.2 to a 4mm. I first tried in late April and it's late August right now. So I first tried and it didn't take, and I was like, oh, it's fine. Basically all of the other like gauges I've done, I've not had any issue. Like, I've kept them in for like 2-3 weeks and been able to change them. I was like, oh, maybe I just need to leave it a bit longer. So I left it for like another month or so and I tried again and it wasn't working. And then it got to like July and I tried maybe 3 or 4 times over like 2 months or whatever to like stretch up to a 4mm, and it wasn't taking it. Like, I couldn't get it in, it wasn't working, whatever. I tried again like end of July and it wasn't working, so then I ordered some. I decided like, oh, I'm just gonna have to order like a half size, so I ordered some 3.5s, so I was going from a 3.2 to a 3.5 and then hopefully a 3.5 to a 4. So I did that and that works. I kept the 3.5s in for about a month and I stretched it up to a 4mm. Not last night, the night before, I think. Yeah. It's very fun. I'm very happy about it. I'm very excited. So yeah, just in time for school. Let's just start school again in a week and a half and I'm not excited about it. Talking of piercings, I also just ordered some rings for my lip piercings. Basically I want like some horseshoe barbells, or those like spirally ones. They're like spirally piercings everyone has on their lips that I think are really cool. I ordered the 2 of them because I ordered them in slightly different sizes because I don't know what size I need. I think this is a 1.2 gauge, but I don't know what like width I need. See, these are a 0.8 and they're too long, but if I'm going for something rounded, do I need to be sizing up and down? I don't really know. And no one on the internet will tell me like what size I should be buying. So I'm winging it. Because I don't want to go back to the piercing shop, because to get them to change these bars for shorter bars cost me £35. £35 to put some shorter bars in, which is wild to me because a lot of places will do the size down for free, number 1. Number 2, I'd already been overcharged for the piercings. It cost me £75 to get them done, and then I paid £10 for like a aftercare stuff, like an aftercare solution, and then I paid another £35 to get them changed. My most expensive investment. And it's a piercing parlour I've gone to before. It's where I got my seconds and my helix piercing done, and I do really like it in there. And the piercer was really nice. It was a different lady to the person who did my other piercings. And she was really nice, she was really chatty, and it was wonderful, it was great. I just don't really like the lady who runs the piercing shop, and I think she's a bit overcharging. She's not been, I had to go in and call up quite a few times, because I got them done in the new year. But I was trying to get in, they had like a deal on in December, so I was trying to get in between like December and New Year. I was kind of going away for New Year, so I was trying to go in, and I went into the shop like twice, and I called her, like I had to call them multiple times because the piercer was never fucking there. Number 1, the piercer was just never in, or she was in late, or whatever was going on. But I also just, I don't know, she was never very nice. The like person who owns the shop, she just wasn't ever particularly nice to me. And I just didn't get a particularly nice vibe, and then I was kind of being charged more than I thought I was going to be charged. And it was just like, I don't really want to go back. So I need to find a new piercing place. So if you know any really good piercers in London, comment down below. I will be checking people out. I'm looking for ones that aren't stupidly expensive, because there's like the like metamorphosis, just like the fancy one that does that, but they're so expensive. Like, I see the one advertised on Instagram, but I'm like, I'm not paying, like, that's so much money. But yeah. Also, talking about that, like, I was also looking at getting a tattoo because I turn 18 soon, which means I can get my first legal tattoo, which I'm very excited about. And there is someone on Instagram that I've followed for a little while that I'd really like to get a custom tattoo from. But I'm just looking at their prices and I'm like, I don't have £400. Do I really want to drop £400 on like a tattoo? But yeah, we're gonna see. I start a new job in a couple weeks, or my first ever proper job in a couple weeks, and so I'll be earning some money from that. And then it's also my birthday soon, so I can kind of try and save up some money. So I might be getting a tattoo in the future, and possibly some new piercings. I really want my eyebrow done, and I want my septum done. I did actually at one point have my nose pierced, which only cost me £15. This is another thing I want to talk about. The time I got my nose pierced. My nose piercing, for context, lasted 7 days. This was 3 years ago, maybe? In 2021, I think, I got my nose pierced in the summer. Basically, I went to the piercing shop. They had like a deal on for the summer or whatever. I think they were trying to get as many customers in as possible. I got my nose pierced. And I don't quite think the bar was long enough for my nose. I think something was slightly off about it. But I have also seen a lot of people with like nostril piercings say that they'd had to get it done a couple of times to get like everything positioned right for it to like take. I got it done, and then it bled, and it would like bleed periodically. Like I would clean it up, and then I'd like look in a mirror 3 hours later, and there was blood on it already, and it would just like bleed quite a lot, and it was not very fun. And then it got to like day 7 or whatever, however long I had it, like a week, and I woke up. It's like 7:30 in the morning. I woke up. I like rubbed my face slightly, and I pull it out by accident, and I am content warning for blood. Nothing visual, but I'm gonna talk about it. And I was spewing blood out of the hole in my nose. Like, not just like a little bit, like there was blood squirting out of the hole in my nose. Like, it was quite grim. And it's like 7:30 in the morning, and I've just woken up. So I'm like gushing blood from my nose. And I run to the bathroom, and I'm calling for my mum, like, can you come help me? And my mum took a picture of it. I have a picture of it. And it's me like over my bathroom sink. Just blood everywhere, like down my face. Safe to say, I didn't put the piercing back in because I was like, this isn't working. I still have it somewhere. I was like, I'm not putting this back in my nose. We're not doing that today. And yeah, I didn't keep it very long. Yeah, also because they said if it bleeds, it's not normal for it to bleed, but if it bleeds for longer than 20 minutes at a time, you should go to A&E and go see a doctor, because that's not good for you, like, to be bleeding for that long. So I was like, this is not it. And also we had to like go somewhere afterwards, like we were going somewhere for the weekend, and I was just like, I'm not dealing with this. So yeah, that's why I no longer have a nose piercing. I also think that it like healed with a bit of blood crust in it. Just slightly grim, so my nostrils are a bit fucked. But yeah, it's fine. But I would like to get my septum pierced. I would be up for trying a nose piercing again, I just don't know if I want to. But I'd like to get my septum pierced. I want to get my septum pierced for ages. I just haven't yet. We will do that one day. One day. I like my eyebrow done. And I want the like, the 2 like upper helix ones with spikes. That's what I want. Those are the ones I want next. But that's like 35 quid each, so that's like almost £150 in piercings. I don't have £150, I have 15, so we're not doing any of that for a while. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, Young Royals. Oh my god, okay. So, Young Royals is one of the greatest TV shows of all time. And I'll tell you why. If you haven't ever heard of or seen Young Royals, it's a Netflix show. Well, it's on Netflix. I don't know if it's actually, I think it is a Netflix show. But it's Swedish. It's a Swedish Netflix show about like the Swedish, it's fictional, but it's like the Swedish royal family kind of surrounding. So we have, it's the Prince of Sweden, the youngest Prince of Sweden, and he gets into like some trouble, and so they send him off to boarding school for like high school. I think it's 3 years, like your last 3 years of school, but I think you graduate slightly later. I don't really know how the Swedish school system works, but I think you join when you're like 16 and you leave when you're 19 from this like high school thing. So you have Prince Wilhelm going off to this like private boarding school, Hillerska, and it's very posh, and he's the Prince of Sweden. And then he does some class, and you have like the school's like resident socialist, good Simon, and it's very gay and it's very beautiful and I love it. And I think it deserves more hype because it's so good, and it's 3 seasons and it is finished now, like officially finished now. And the 3rd season was actually really, really good. And I know a lot of the people that I know that watched it never watched the 2nd and 3rd seasons. Season 2 is alright. It's a lot of like, it's slightly filler-y because not really much happens in season 2. Like there's the big event of season 1, and then season 2 is kind of like the backlash. And then season 3 is kind of like the resolution. And it is a really good show. It's very dramatic, but it is in Swedish. So it is dubbed. There is a dubbed version, but it is in Swedish. But it's so good. Like I actually loved it. It's so good. And it's like all I want to think about is like Young Royals. Don't know why. I need to probably rewatch it. But I've just been getting a lot of like Young Royals edits on YouTube when I've been scrolling through TikTok, so I've been thinking should rewatch Young Royals. Oh, talking of TV shows I'm watching, what was it that I just watched? I just watched a TV show called, what was it called? The Irregulars, I think? I don't know how you find things on... Yeah, The Irregulars, which I actually really enjoyed. It was like it's like a Sherlock-y adjacent show, but Sherlock isn't the main character. It's about a group of crime-fighting teenagers, but there's like the big paranormal aspect to it, but it's like it's Victorian Sherlock with a paranormal aspect, except we're looking at like the like outsourced teenage detectives. It's very fun. I've been enjoying a lot of teenage detective things recently. I recently read the book series The Naturals, that was also teenage detectives. But yeah, I've definitely really enjoyed The Irregulars. I don't think anyone picked up traction. I don't think it picked up any traction because it came out in 2021 and there's nothing else about it. I thought it was really good and I really enjoyed it. So go watch that if you haven't, it was really good. And Watson is actually gay in that. Watson is actually gay and very much in love with Sherlock, and Sherlock doesn't know it. So yeah, that's, yeah, another thing ticked off my list. Also, okay, I was watching another film the other day, I didn't finish it. What was I watching? Eternal Summer? It's like a Chinese film. I didn't finish it. I should probably finish it. But basically, I was wondering, is there a reason why all of these, like, teen films have, like, a section, like a scene, where they just go off to, like, the side of the top of a building, the top of a mountain cliff, and scream? Because I don't know about you, I've never done that. It does sound fun, but I've never done that. Is that just a thing people do? Because, like, why is it in all the films? Like, all the films and TV shows. I think they do it in 13 Reasons Why. And in, like... they do it in sex education? They might do. But like, I've never done that. Why am I so tired? It's literally 6:30. Actually, I know why I'm tired. I'm tired because my sleep schedule is really messed up. Been going to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning for the last couple of days. Actually, like, but then I've been waking up earlier for these last 2 days. So I'm really tired. So it's probably good to sleep early tonight. I also signed up to go to a like Stitch and Rich crochet club thing tomorrow. I'm still debating if I'm going. I think I am gonna go, but I don't really know what I'm gonna bring with me. Kind of excited. It should be fun to like meet people. I'm assuming people there are normally gonna be older than me, which I'm kind of scared about. The like being the youngest person there. But it should be fun. It should be interesting. I'm gonna try. I'm like trying to put myself out there and like make friends, because I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that, and I don't have any many friends, so that should be interesting. What else do I have on my list of things to talk about? Oh my god, my brain is dead, and I'm actually so tired. I think I just need to take a nap. That's honestly what I think I might do right now. Is start the podcast and go take a nap. Yeah. Oh, I might cut my hair at some point this week. I need to dye my roots a bit. But I want to cut my hair so it's like here. You can't see because I have the top part of my hair up. But basically I have like a jellyfish cut, so the top part of my hair is shorter and it's like here. Kind of just above shoulder length. I'm kind of tempted to cut all of my hair to that length. I think I might do it at some point this week, but I'm waiting because I washed my hair on like Tuesday, so I'm waiting for a couple of days before I bleach it. So I might cut my hair maybe tomorrow. I'm debating. But yeah, it's a shorter episode. I feel bad. Just like run out of things to say. I have other things to say, but I don't really want to talk about them right now. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is a much shorter episode, but maybe it won't take like 7 fucking hours to upload then. But yeah, okay. Bye. Have a nice day or night, and I will see you next time. Bye.